Oh, dudes, what is going on? We're gonna get things started quick this morning. Kind of, maybe. I don't know about quick. We're gonna get things started this morning. It is 9:22. We're gonna be doing a full Chevy Malibu again, but this time with a full windshield. This is gonna be a good stream. We have a goal of finishing this by 12, so we need to stay on track today. My bit rate is good. Hit that thumbs up button. Button. I think we're getting a hang on this. That is great. I got this started so much quicker than I normally do. I don't think I forgot a bunch of stuff. Good morning, guys. I hope you have your coffee. I had the option of doing this one or at 12 o'clock today, and normally I do the 12 o'clock. But you know, I just figured like putting myself under some pressure or something. I don't know. Can you make a video? Can you show or make a new video of how to snap shrink? Don't I have one? Or do I not? Has it been a minute? Every live stream is a video on how to snap shrink. Yeah, I can... Oh, I do have one about it. I'll try and remember when we do it on this car, though. I should shut off my heat. It's actually warmer today. I have long sleeves. I've been up earlier basically every day. I mean, we had a car on... Well, Sunday was later, so I got to sleep in on Sunday. But Monday morning... Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning. Thursday is actually a personal day with some stuff. And then Friday, I got to be up in the morning. Saturday, I got more appointments too. Monday, we have more appointments. Wednesday, we have more appointments. Like, shit booked up quick. Like, real quick. It went from being kind of like hit or miss, and then, you know, before you know it, appointment rolls in like the night before, the day before, something like that. And then now it's just kind of like, fuck, dude, I'm booked. It's a good thing to have. How many cars? I just set up 2 for today. I have been fucking busy. That's kind of what I'm going for right now. I'm trying to at least like book 2 full cars in a day. That way it gives me for sure enough time to stream, and then I have extra time to do some other stuff. But for the most part, I've just been getting calls about full cars too. I haven't been getting calls about just front doors, just full cars. So I'd imagine front doors are calling their usual spots, and they can usually get in with front doors pretty easily, but full cars are going to be tougher to get spots for right now. So all that residual is coming this way, which is nice. Bring them in. I just want full cars. I just want to stream. All right. I got to get my mic. Front doors are easy. Easy money. Easy peasy. I mean, a good day, like yesterday, was mostly front doors. It's just kind of like, okay, let's just turn them over. It's a good day. Easy money, quick. You could actually make more money just doing front doors all day. But you need to pull in and out a lot more vehicles. So a lot more customers are needed for that. I gotta grab my mic. It's in the other room. 1 second. What's a good practice film in the UK? I don't know. I mean, you guys are closer to China. I honestly don't know what you could find in the UK or the EU. Lexington's okay for practice. It's a little difficult to shrink, though. but it's affordable, so you can rip through a bunch of it. I don't have a good suggestion for you. Just look at some of the, like, whatever your eBay. I mean, I know you got UK versions of that, but, like, honestly, just a 1.5 dyed film, 1.5 mil dyed film would be fine. What is your biggest obstacle when doing mobile tint? Oh, that's a good question. Logistics. Figuring out where to put the car and wind and everything else. Your environment is always your problem. So when you go to tint a car, like this would be, for example, at a dealership, basically anywhere you go, their concern is just like, okay, I got the car. And then you get there and you're like, all right, where do you want me to tint it? And they're like, oh, I didn't think about that. You can't just do this outside? Oh, I thought you could just do this outside in the parking lot, right? Mobile. You just go do it outside. Nobody understands. Nobody other than the tinter understands what they have to do. So figuring out where to pull in the car, get all your stuff to the car, and then tint the car without any, like, somebody opening garage doors and creating a wind tunnel and all this other shit. Like, that's the biggest problem with mobile. So if you get a phone call from somebody at somebody's house, a lot of times they don't have a garage or space in their garage or whatever. It's just like the burden is always on the tinter to try and figure everything out. And that's what made me so frustrated about mobile. So the other type of mobile is partnering up with a handful of shops, not necessarily tint shops, but glass shops, auto fixing, I don't care, whatever. Other things associated around window tinting that is not their main business, and then you come in and do the tint, then they got a space for you to come in and tint already, and then you have so many other logistics already taken care of. But the logistics are always the biggest problem. All I do is outdoor tint. It sucks, bro. The wind is the biggest enemy. Yep. Wind, sun. It's not fun. So, like, that's just when people talk about mobile in the groups, it's like I think people just always think, like, running around to people's houses and apartments and, like, stuff like that. Mobile can be, like, a few different things. For me, it was always going to shops that we worked with, and then we get some sort of relationship going where they have a pricing list, and then they get people in, and then other people start knowing that they do window tint work, so it just kind of snowballs a little bit. There's good versions and bad versions of those. Unfortunately, more bad versions than good versions, but that is the way I would probably do that. How big a film should I buy for doing whole sedans? 36-inch rolls were generally my favorite for sedans. You can just split them in half for the doors, and then they fit 99% of back windows. There's maybe like 1 or 2 back windows out there, but I mean, like the Grand Prix back window, it's like just clears it by a hair. So 36s are good for that. I recently got tint reapplied from normal to ceramic, have some bubbles in the film. The guy said it was a normal thing. Is that true? Yes. So there's 2 differences there. What happens is when you first get your windows tinted, especially when the weather's a little cooler, like it is right now, at least in Michigan it is, the water condenses together into like these little water pockets, and then they evaporate out of the glass. If you have bright white air spots, those don't go away. How did you manage your time so you'll be able to spend time with your family? That is one of the reasons I'm trying to schedule things the way that I'm doing here. Right now is just busy season, so take advantage of it while you can. Wintertime especially slows down, so you usually will just have more free time in the winter. But the way that I have it structured here is I come in, I do a handful of cars or whatever, and then I go home after that. I made this place pretty close to home too. They can come here and hang out if they want to anytime. So that's what I really kept in mind with moving forward. I wanted to tint out of the house. The city didn't like that, so yeah, we're doing what we can for it. Lately, it's been a little hectic, especially with the store orders, but we're managing. Where did you get the flooring? Oh, this is a race deck floor. The company, I think, is Snaplock Industries. Like I think they have a few different branded websites, but Raystack is the site that I got this from. Tint God early streams. We're trying, man. Early streams or afternoon, however we do it, just more frequently. I bought a car with silver color, and it's got tint with a silver color on the outside. That's a little unique. You don't see that as much anymore. It's something that used to be around a lot more. You see more Chinese manufacturers than anything making it. Most, like Lumar had their own metallic film for automotive, but they discontinued it eventually. Manufacturing, it's just there's not a lot of demand for it. Everything's black. So takes real ambitious companies to kind of like make something for those markets, and it's usually China. They just make everything. They're just like, will people buy this? I don't know. Let's fucking make it. Alrighty. Well, let's get this GoPro. We have a short cable again. So I also got a 90-degree. So now I shouldn't crimp the cable this time, which would be nice. So the weight is back on my head, but hopefully for the better. Hard time shrinking hashbacks, any advice? Leave the film long at the top and the bottom and try and pull shrink them. Some hatches, especially Golfs, are going to be a little bit harder than other ones. There's some that are incredibly easy. But some of them, they're just a little bit more rounded, especially in the top or bottom corners. Just leave the film longer, tug on it a little bit, and try and smoothly shrink the whole thing. I got some videos that talk more about like pole shrinking. It took me a while to learn pole shrinking. You're not really pulling it. You're really just like lifting it off the glass and get a little heat wave going. All right, how's this go? This goes like this. So if I plug this in here, it should just work. Oh, this isn't even on. It's not even on. What a dumbass. What an idiot. All right. Let's let this connect. Channel 1. Let's see if this is going to work the first time. 1080p 60, we like that. We don't like that. That's bad. What the fuck is that? Hey! Look at that. First try. Don't be so hard on yourself. What's life without a little self-deprecating humor? Four likes. All right, you know what? I gotta rag on you guys a little bit. You guys don't like these videos at all. You guys just sit there and watch them. I need you to hit the like button. Do it. Or the dislike. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It's more engagement. Push one of those buttons. Hey, it jumped up from 4 to 8. Thank you. I need to start doing some of these things. I put in way too much work. We need to start improving. So we actually legitimately need to start improving some of the live numbers. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you. Alrighty, we're going to go ahead and get started. We are doing, so this is going to be kind of like a mixed bag of window tint. We're going to be doing 35 on the full windshield on the front doors. Then we're going to be doing 20% on the back doors and then 5% on the very back window. but it's going to be fun. Wow, we already blew like 20 minutes of time. I got to get started. I'm having pancakes this morning, breakfast. I can't hit the like button. Okay, maybe I can. Just pour a little syrup towards it, and then it'll just hit it. I want some pancakes. That sounds good. We had them last night. Oh, I should pause this. Resources need to be for streaming, not for monitoring. Let's go. Let's go. Oh, we're back. We're back with this craziness. There's not a button for love, so that's why we don't hit the like button. What's up, Gator? How you doing? Look at that. Look at that. We are good to go. We are good to go. Oh my God, my towels. I forgot my towels too. What are we gonna do about that? I've had to wash my towels for like the past 2 weeks, and I keep somehow forgetting. So they're just kind of all piling up in my vehicle. Sorry. Sorry. Canon. Sorry. Thank you for that. Yes, the microphone was not on my head, but now it is, so we're good. What a stream it would be if nobody said anything about the microphone until we were done. Like, hey, it was a really hard time trying to hear you. Oh yeah, maybe I want to keep one of those with me. Watching from Pangasinan, Philippines. Holy shit. That's where my wife's from. I've been there. That's like up north from Manila. We'd have to take either usually like a 5-hour bus ride up there, up to Dagupan, and then head over. Oh, good. You guys didn't hear me talk about my towels then. I need to get my towels. It's just a mess right now. I actually did that car, that the video in the Philippines. That's where I did it. I did it in Pangasinan. Welcome. So this one has a fair amount of like light dirt, like that dusty dirt, because it's a construction thing. Would it be easier to install a washer and dryer in the shop? Yeah, it would. So I think I'd have to put it over there because the only drain is over there. I actually have, and it'd have to vent out the roof. There is a vent over in there, but there's no drain. So that's been the only thing. Hey, look, so they mentioned this. They have a outside decal. So you can shrink straight over these things. You don't have to worry about them. Just go real light on that. Do you charge more for sedans with front quarters? Usually yes. I haven't been here though. I've just kind of been doing blanket pricing because my margins are better because I work for myself now. But when you contract for other people, yeah, I definitely charge them for it. So we did one of these in like, I don't know, when we streamed it last, it was pretty quick. So I figured we got to get this one done by 12 because we have a 12 o'clock appointment for a fusion with no time limit after that. So the smarter thing would have been to just stream the next appointment. But I just accidentally hit the stream button, and then here we are. All right, we need films. All right, so we need some of this stuff. We need the 30, this is gonna fall over for sure. 35, this is like Jenga right now. 35, we need 20, and then we need 5. So my 20 is there. Oh, we grabbed one that is not open. So let's put that there. Where's my actual, is this? No, that's not. So 35, we need, no, this one. This 20, that helps. And then the 5, oh yeah, right here. I used all these yesterday, so that makes sense. And then we gotta scrounge for some towels. I do this thing where like, I put stuff in my car that I need to do, like, I need to wash all my towels, so I put them all in there. And then I go out to my car in the morning to leave, and I'm like, fuck, I forgot to wash my towels. And then I do that again, and then I do it again, and then I do it again. So right now, I have a whole heaping mess of fucking towels. So we're just gonna have to make do with what we got right now. Oh, I still have those hanging. I don't need these. But that's fine. That's whatever. It'll be fine. Ooh, are we at Market Open? Canon. Sorry, they tried to tank GameStop again yesterday. They half succeeded. I mean, they definitely pushed it down. Oh my god, it's just falling off a cliff. Abandoned ship. Everybody is just leaving. 3.5 million shares sold. Oh, that's hardly shit. Oh, this is going to be fun. This is a good buying opportunity. Look at that. Look at that. Oh my god, it's just bleeding red today. They announced earnings yesterday. They're going to surprise some people. What was that? You own a shop? I do. I'm getting my tint done professionally this weekend. I tried and failed. Hey, now you know. GoPro. I like the shirt. Where'd you get it? My graphic designer sent it. Carrie, Tint Life. Let me type that one in. Hang on, Canon. Let me make sure I got the link right. Yeah, that's what I thought. Tint Life with a Y. Here, I'm going to drop a link in chat for you guys. You guys want to check it out? Tintlife.com. She sent this stuff a little while ago, actually. So that Carrie is a graphic designer. She does a ton of stuff for window tinters. So she likes to like make window tint inspired logo designs too. So she has like a shirt store. First hour trading doesn't really matter. Yeah, I know, but it's like early morning panic. You just want to see green every day. This one is just kind of funny because like they announced earnings yesterday and they were fine. That is the consensus. But like the Q4 earnings of last year has nothing to do with basically what they've been trying to do this year. Broken link? Oh my god, what a shit link. Who did that? Did I do HTTP? There you go. So they're like revamping the whole board. They're getting rid of a bunch of people in June. New people have already signed on. Bunch of stuff has happened already. But they put in the SEC filing that a short squeeze may happen and that their float is 100% bought or over 100% bought. So it's like, Yep. Just like everybody's been saying, shit's gonna get interesting real quick. So I always follow it basically all day to see where it's at, and having another panicky rundown. That's what they're trying to do. So much bullshit with the news too. So did you actually invent Glassade? Has it never been used before, or did you just rebrand your own? No, it is absolutely mine. It is something that never existed. I had to call a bunch of manufacturers. It is 100% mine. So I was looking, so what is it? We put out a video not too long ago about it. For me, it's a way to cut on the glass and not risk damaging the glass. It's got to be white, though, because you have that application time. So trust me, I know. I tint windows. I don't like to waste my time. I don't like to waste my time. So putting this around the glass, I've gotten more used to it, but especially in the beginning, it's like, it feels really time consuming to just like tediously go along and tape the window. You get faster as you go, but you need to make up that time. So that's why it's white, or else we could make it any color we wanted. But the white helps you to see it through the film. You can see it usually as dark as 20% without a light, and then I'll take a light on the outside and cut the rest of it that way. Yeah, I was just looking to fix a problem. So I had been seeing little scores in the glass for quite a bit of time, just like white faint lines, or just like faint score lines. But I didn't exactly have a way to fix it. Where'd I put my little clump? So the trick to this, oh, we put it right here. So Of course we did. So the trick to this one is that it's thicker too, so you can cut on it and not risk scratching the glass. That is what made this a thing for me. So, you know, because last thing you want to do after you've tinted a car for $200+ is pay $200+ to replace a fucking back window. We don't have time for that, especially with all the brand new windshields. Holy shit, that's going to be expensive. Sensor recalibration too? Yeah, no thanks. How do I clean a brake light? Behind a third brake light? I'll take a bulldozer, and then I will basically just scrape behind it. You can also put a scrub pad. You can also put a you can also put a scrub pad on, like, there's this scrub pad paddle. I have it somewhere in there, but it's a little buried right now. But that's another way you can do it. Sensor recalibration, the equipment is expensive. Yeah, the glass shop. They've been telling me all about it. The unit for like recalibration, I think, was like $2,000. They'll charge for it too, though. But some of the stuff they actually have to send back to the dealership. So they'll do it. They'll do what they can, but some things they can't even do out of their shop. There's lane departure and all that shit. It's getting complicated. It's always something. It's always something. What do you think about tinting outdoors? Go get a garage. It's not fun. Tinting outside is, like, seriously, it's something I've hardly ever had to do. And I would greatly insist on trying to figure out some way to tint inside anywhere you go. Most scratches can be hand buffed with a glass polisher. No. Not from what I've seen. At least if you can make it happen, you need to go around and teach the world, because I have not seen that in person. I've seen old glass polisher kits and stuff like that, and the sheer extent that I've seen people try and buff out any type of scratch out of a window has been really unsuccessful. When a tint knife puts a little scratch in the glass, that's one thing, but when it's really bad, oh, it's really bad. The little way around a scratch, take a, just the occasional blade scratch. That would be, yeah, it's like a small little, like if I'm rounding a corner and I put like a small little thing in it, yeah, but what's happening is most people, it's around, you're checking the whole thing. Super chat, Canon. Ephraim with the 5. I work at Safelight. When glass comes with scratches, we buff them out. Really? Ephraim, you need to come over here and you need to show that you need to show the world how they can be buffed out, because I have not seen that. I'm not saying it's not possible. Technology has improved, but holy shit, have I seen some people like, yeah, I could get it out, and then it's just, that's not out. But you've been a long super chatter of this channel, so I would definitely take your word for it, but I really want to see that. I really want to see the improvements that they've made. But so the types of scratches that most people are going to get for like a back window or a windshield, it would be a score around the whole fucking thing. You're donezo. Or you're sitting there polishing that bitch for a little while. Is there a specific angle you hold the blade when you're cutting to prevent cutting the gasket? Yeah, you're more like using the gasket. Well, you are. You're using the gasket as a guide. That is what you do. All right, where's this? Hold this button for like 5 seconds. Oh my God, they got a USB-C cable. That is a rarity. My phone will be like low on battery. It's just a world of iPhone chargers. And when I had an iPhone, it was a world of micro USB chargers. I've seen like 2 cars in the past month that have had USB-C. Everything always has an iPhone charger. Safely replace, something like that. God, that was horrible. Are we still crashing on the GameStop? What are we doing? Talk to me, people. Are we running for the hills? Is the whole thing over? Or are we still just taking a nosedive on low volume because they're still trying to short the shit out of it? I gotta look at this real quick. It's coming back! Look at that, it's coming back! 149. Let's go. It's 151. That's 2 seconds ago numbers. So, I have a little theory, because me, like a lot of people, was really expecting something yesterday. And it makes sense why they did what they did, but it was a little surprising. So everybody was like, Ryan Cohen's gonna speak. They're gonna talk about the problem. They're gonna put this shit to the moon. And then they basically just read the earnings report, and that was it. And I was kind of like, oh, well, that was boring. But good things came out of it. They have $635 million in the bank. No need to sell any shares. They can fund themselves, they said, for the next year, if not longer, off of what they have. And they have a lot of plans right now that they are executing really well. Online sales were up to 175%. They used to be 30% of their business. Now they're way up. So that is the direction they are heading. The float is low, very low. It's over 100% shorted, and they put in a filing that there might be a squeeze. So Good shit is going to be coming out, I think, really, really soon that they're going to start talking about. But that was kind of like the foundation for this shit's not going back down. They can try. Have you ever thought about a plotter machine? Never thought about it. No, we've had quite a few discussions about it. It's, there's certain situations where it would be helpful, but for the most part, I don't like the patterns that most of the softwares have, so I like doing this better, especially when I have the time for it. I mean, shit, we have enough tech problems on this stream. I've dealt with all the tech problems that a plotter can bring, too. But it was funny. So like, I've learned a lot from watching this this whole story pan out in particular. What? Oh, somebody was talking about where they went for tint. So anyways, I learned a lot about watching that whole story play out so far and the way that the news has been framing it. And holy shit, have they just been trying to dog it as much as they possibly can. They put out some headlines yesterday saying that GameStop might talked about selling stock to fund their future projects and stuff like that. They didn't say jack shit about it. It's not in their filings. They didn't talk about it. And that's the headline that the news wants to come out with? Ooh, they're just making shit up. CNBC is being a little bitch. Where's your tank? It's at the front of the car. I have two hoses. So the hoses, one goes on this side, one goes on the other. It's a 5-gallon setup. And you just put it at the most convenient location. But this is great. We have a stream today, and then we have a stream for Saturday. And Monday. And Wednesday. And I'd imagine other ones after that. Hang on, let me just cut this off just a little bit farther. So one of them, yeah, I like how one of them is the Flexilla, and the other one is some other one. I don't know. It's the tint keg. They're out of the extra dip tubes? Really? Fuck, man. You're really seeing a lot of after effects right now of like fucking demand. Supply and demand. Holy shit. PC market especially. Like, Jesus. I was thinking about getting an RTX card for encoded. God, I can't right now. There we go. I was gonna get an RTX, NVIDIA RTX card, for encoding on the stream to help out with that. And you haven't been able to buy those for quite a while, and the crypto market is making it way worse. And now you hear there's just like an over demand, silicon shortage across. So if you guys want to invest in something, I hear those markets are good to invest to now while they're low. But Jesus Christ, everybody's revamping their home PC setups. I remember 10 years ago, they were like, PC gaming is dead. It's dead. It's never coming back. Canon. Yeah, went on back order after they made my own tank and gone. Dang, that sucks, man. I'll sell mine for 100. I'm just kidding. It's not for sale. Can you tint my windows? Sure. I heard it from a guy in my virtual reality chat. AMD is making a video card that's supposed to be really good. They've been trying for a while. That is where they dropped off a lot. They made a really surprising comeback with processors, like a very surprising. So much so that this is a Threadripper PC. And they have just been kicking Intel's ass. That's the way it used to be. Like, you used to have, like, this big competitive war, and then Intel took over for, like, 5 years, and AMD just sucked shit. But now AMD came back and is like, no, fuck you, we're back. And they've been that way for the past, like, 3 or 4 years now. It's crazy. Are we good? Okay, we're good. But yeah, like window film logistics now too, they've been really, it's been really challenging. Still at 151, okay. Yeah, when like I'm just hearing like stuff gets stuck at the docks. There's so much demand right now. There was problems with manufacturing before, and now you just have a huge demand. So it's just, they can't even keep up with it right now. Intel is king. They got to make a comeback. They're still having problems with 7 nanometer or something. Do you tint headlights? No, not right now. Where do you get tank supplies? Check out Tint Keg. How is it to use Suntech Standard Pro? I'm a beginner. It'd be, I think, a little bit on the expensive side for a beginner film, but it would be a pretty good film to use. Somebody could probably answer this in chat. Does Suntech still print STD on the box for standard? Because that one was really funny to me. Why would you do that? Why? Unless somebody was like, hat, and then they just thought it was funny. What camera setup are you using? I'm using a Canon SL2 with a Sigma 18-35 lens. That's the main camera over there. And then I'm also using a GoPro with a wireless HDMI transmitter. Everybody here, hit the like. He's only got 15. Those are rookie numbers. You need to bump those numbers up, son. Nice setup. Thank you. Are you a gamer? I like some, but I haven't played much games in a little while now. Cost efficient quality film. Well, Pro Classic, I would call a cost-efficient effective film. Is this backwards? This feels backwards to me. Oh my God, I think it is. I think we put them on backwards. This one could be backwards too. Oh my God, it is. Do you know how I can tell? You know how I can tell right now? It's curling opposite. It don't do that. It don't ever do that. I put them on backwards. We'll make sure. Yes, we are. We're backwards. Let's just leave you there. You're fine. That's fine, right? Just leave it like that. GeoShield is the truth and the answer. There's a few places. So, cost effective, it's relative. If you want a film that's good for your business, GeoShield absolutely is great. If you're just looking for a very budget film, there's a whole bunch of places you can get cheap film from. But you gotta figure out what type of business you want to be. I think I saw a post in my group. I want to say I saw a post in my group that said the guy was trying to charge me like $200-300 for a tint job. I managed to do it myself for $40. It was like, wow, good job. Congrats, you tinted your own car. You didn't have to go to a professional. Maybe the cost of getting the service done is not just the cost of the fucking material. What's bad of Lexan? The haze. The haze and shrinking. Shrinking, though, I can give it a pass. It just takes a lot of heat towards the edges. But low angle haze comes from being a budget carbon film. It dries with a dragon skin texture. I don't think I've noticed that on my own, but that was a funny way to put it. Can Lexan be okay for personal use? Well, yeah, I mean, if you're okay with haze on your vehicle. If you want to see out of your windows. Look, I'm not trying to overly dog it or whatever, but, like, I've got a lot of people that ask me very regularly about, like, different types of film and stuff like that, so it's not just being a business. It's just, like, you have, so, like, here are the underlying issues with going cheap in each perspective type of film. Actually, with metallic you could say just signal degradation or whatever, but it's not really as much of a thing anymore. Like, metal films just really aren't much of a thing much anymore. There's still a couple, but most people have dyed, carbon, and ceramic. And dyed carbon and ceramic comes in a few different types, at least for carbon and ceramic. So for dyed, you can have cheap dyed, cheap glue, so the dye will fade, the dye will change colors, and the adhesive might bubble. Those are really the main things that could go wrong with a cheap dyed film. With carbon, when you have cheap carbon, you have bigger pieces of carbon. So they embed carbon into the film. They make it really, really tiny. And the smaller they make it, the more clear that film's going to be. And so the cheap stuff, it's just not as refined. So while it might look okay while it's in your shop, when you pull it out into extreme sunlight and the sun is hitting it at a sharper angle, it makes that window basically glow and haze up and makes it really difficult to see out of. So while carbon is much more stable than dye is, and it's not as likely to change color if it's really carbon, you're just going to get a hazy product. And then you also have potential for the glue to fail as well. Same thing for ceramic. Ceramic, the finer they make that ceramic, the clearer it's going to be. But with ceramic, you can only go so dark. So you actually have to color the ceramic as well. So they'll either do that one of two ways. They'll either color it with carbon or they'll color it with dye. If they just color it with dye, it's less likely to be hazy. But if they color it with carbon and it's cheap, you're probably going to have an even hazier product than if you just went for carbon. So if you're looking for a budget option, across the board, those are really the main issues that you're going to be dealing with down the road. Like, even if it looks fine, like in the beginning, the dyed would look the most okay out of all of them. But a couple years or a year or 6 months, however cheap it is, it's going to cause a more expensive problem down the road because your film is going to need to be removed. And if you ever tried to remove old shitty window film, it's just not fun. I'll charge $160 just for removal. If the removal's not too bad, I'll charge more if it's worse than that. So those are the main issues with going cheaper across the board. Use something that's made to last. But you know, if you want a 2-year lease, then fucking whatever and make a tinter deal with the removal down the road. Where are my razors? Oh, there they are. I do have them. Making a legit business and filing paperwork literally takes about 25 seconds. Yeah, it doesn't take long. You can go through, like I went through a service called LegalZoom. I'm not great with paperwork though, so that's why I used a service like that. What tint do I use? GeoShield. I keep messing up. You make it look so easy. Thank you, 1. And 2, you are not seeing the 12 years of pain and struggle that I've gone to make it look easy. You're getting a summary of it. Is the roll expensive? Not if you sell it appropriately. These really have a lot of crud built up on them. So that is why we grabbed a razor blade. I want to grab my clay bar too. If you want to see pricing, you can go to, wait for it, mytintstuff.com, and then you can check out pricing there. Or you can check it out from GeoShield as well. Dang, dude. Everyone here uses GeoShield? I don't think so, but there's more people that use it now. Do you have a registered agent, or are you the registered agent? Oh, for like a business? LegalZoom charged me for that, and they're the registered agent. And I was like, what the fuck did they charge me for? And then they pulled that bullshit on me, and I'm like, I guess. And like, here's the thing. Like, dude, there's so many little legally red tape things for anything, and they can make it sound near impossible. But like, you can start doing work tomorrow, and nobody will fucking notice. So, as soon as they say something, then like start getting your shit together. I was tinting out of my garage at home, and as far as the city was concerned, they didn't fucking know. And then they're like, hey, you can't do that. And I was like, okay, I guess let's stop doing that. Because they had some shitty neighbors or something. Just don't overthink it. Just do it. There's so many reasons why you can't do something, and then you get people. You know how a lot of businesses start? People are too dumb to think of why it might fail. Seriously, there's so many, like, you look at some shops or like some businesses, and you're like, how the fuck are you in business? It's because they were too dumb for them to listen to any reason why it would fail. They just did it, and they just kept doing it. That's how it goes. Did people drop off? Yeah, it was drop off only. Drop off appointments only. That'd be awkward, having people waiting in a garage and basically like sneaking past them while I'm live. Does tint expire? Yeah, like milk. It's good for 2 weeks. No, generally it doesn't. You could probably pick up a box years later and it'd be fine. I mean, maybe, but generally no. I don't know how it just stays on the shelf indefinitely, but there's some old fucking film that's still good. Oh, Jesus. Have we gotten big enough for spam bots? Oh, that's on Twitch. Oh, Twitch, you're so dumb. That's funny. I had a bot on Twitch that was saying that you could buy followers. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do follow for follow. None of that bullshit. Stay away from that. That shit don't work. It inflates your numbers, and then it'll hurt you in the long run. Click farms. Follow for follow. You know, I don't want to be too like mean about this either, but I see sometimes in the groups tinters asking other tinters for likes on their new business page. Don't do that. Don't do that. So the thing is, the way Facebook works is when you make a post, they've seed it out to people to see the reaction. So unless those people are genuinely interested in interacting with what you've posted, they're not going to seed it out to more people. So when you have 30 likes from tinters and 5 likes from actual customers, they might seed that post out to 5 tinters and see that none of the tinters engaged with the post. And then they'll just kill the post. So just be careful. So I've never tried to hype up my business page. But people keep finding it. Stop it. Tinters keep finding it. Stop. Stop. That looks good. One window down. We still got a lot of windows to do. Some windows. And you see, little dirty construction company here. So we got to make sure that we do a good job. What percent do I recommend? I don't really make many recommendations. I just try and get a feel for what a customer might be looking for and trying to steer them towards what they're looking for. On my own vehicle, I like 20 on the front doors and 35 on the windshield. The back I have in 5, but that's because it's my work vehicle. But like on my wife's Blazer, we did 50 on the windshield, 35 on the front doors, and she's got factory 20 still in the back. Just put 5 on it. I should. The most common? Oh, 20 by far. Majority of people go with 20. It's not that surprising. It's right in the middle. So like 35, 20, and 5. Most people are just go with like your middle option. Plus it's on basically all factory trucks and SUVs, domestic anyways. You should still put something on the back? Yes, I should, and I will. We tinted it on stream, the front, before we had the baby, and then it was wintertime, and now it's becoming warmer out. So my wife has said, you need to put ceramic on the back of this. And I say, yes, dear. And then I have other stuff I need to do. So I need to bring it in and just do the other sunroof piece along with the back of it. It's just time. Time's been hard to come by lately. Because as soon as I'm done here, shit, I gotta put like orders together. I was up to like 12 o'clock, no, 1 o'clock, no, 12? 12 putting orders together and shit after a work day. Along with other family stuff that I had to do too. Busy, busy. It's that season. We're in the busy times. Will we get to see it done? See, that's the other thing. Is like, if I stream it, it takes up more time. So, I think maybe. It's the back of a Blazer, though. So, the video wouldn't be anything special. Other than it's my Blazer. And we have a lot of cars being streamed now, so. I mean, really, like, that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be doing, like, 50% nano ceramic over the... come on. Just give me a little bit. There we go. I'm going to be doing 50% nano ceramic over the back. Good. That corner's almost too far. All right, good. Where's GME at? Whoa! Wow. $60 super chat. That's a big one. 1 second. I heard most of it. I want to give you a good answer. But thank you. Thank you very much. Let's finish installing this. This will not take long. Unless we screw it up. And in that case, panic! So I hear them, and then I try and say what I was thinking, and then I next thing I know, I forget the beginning of what was said, unless it's kept really short. All right. That is good. Let's check it out real quick. Ta-da! Fantastic. We can get some coffee too. Holy shit! Canon. Lewis with a $60 super chat. Jesus Christ. You're very instrumental to my ongoing success, so I just want to say, send my thank you. Dude, thank you. Dude, that's awesome to hear. Also, since we are on the subject, at what point do you say it's smart getting one? Is there a point where you make too much money to not have a license? Missed a word in there, asking about business license. Thank you again. So, yeah, well, I don't know if there's an exact point, but what I would say is when it changes from being a bit of a hobby to, you're really making money doing this and you're just doing it, just get a business license. They're really not expensive to do, at least in most cases. I think the whole LegalZoom process was $250, $350, something like that. And then they handle mostly everything, and they'll tell you what you need to file and stuff in your state, and if your business name is available and stuff like that. So it's really you're talking about a couple of cars worth of work there to get a license and get going. So just you don't need an actual, at least I don't think I did. I had the Gatewood place, so I did put that in the address. But I'm pretty sure you could file from just being at home too. But if you have a place that you're tinting out of, then what is it? What did people say? That most states except California are 150 to 300 to file. Yeah, it's not a big deal to just do it. So with your question, it almost sounds like you should, just based on the question. At what point do you get to? It sounds like you're probably to that point where you should just go ahead and do it. So, and then you always feel a little better about it. They put a little glitter at the end of it, a little congratulations, this is now your LLC. So, yeah, file for an LLC. This is not professional legal advice, by the way. Definitely check with your state. But that's why I like to service LegalZoom. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. It was just somebody said use it. I used it too. And it was oh, yeah, that was really easy. And there you go. You got an LLC. California is stupid. That's what somebody said. Basically, California is 800 or something dumb. California as a state is kind of intense. across the board, like their state tax, their everything, cost of everything in California is ridiculous. Holy fuck, Robo-Tinner, you're gonna get brain cancer. All right. GoPro. One thing you can... GoPro. One thing you could also like just ask some advice in the Facebook group too, because I guarantee you there are people in your state that have had to do it, and they could tell you how they did it too. So, but thank you so much for that. I'm glad you're doing well by it. So I heard. Whoa. let's be careful there. So I was listening to Elon on the Joe Rogan podcast not too long ago. They always have interesting conversations. But what was cool about that was he was like, they spoke about 5G for a little bit, and Elon basically was laughing about it. He's like, you literally could make a 5G helmet, and it would do nothing. He's like, at most, it would maybe make your head slightly warmer than it was before. And I just laughed at that because I'm like, that sounds like something I'm trying to do right now. This is becoming the norm for me, though. We're going full robotic. You can use home address in any state. Nice, so there you go. The problem is if you're having customers come to your home address, it's public record. Yeah, I could see that being the case. But, like, okay, so good example, too. My uncle, he's got a lawn care business. He doesn't have an actual, God, don't you love this sound? Hang on, let me shut this up for a minute. So my uncle's got a lawn care business, and he doesn't just do his own lawn, but he doesn't have an actual lawn care building. So all the equipment gets stored in his massive driveway and other places too. So what he does is, as far as I can tell, he's got it registered as the business address, and you can actually even find it on maps. But nobody's going to his house for that because he's a lawn care service. He comes to people, and he has people that do that too. So there's all sorts of little trades like that, like especially online stores too. They can absolutely register their home business or their home to be the business address, but nobody's actively seeking them out, to go there. So with it being public record, nobody cares in most cases. Oh, this is chipped. Oh no, come on, don't do that. Don't be chipped. Dang it. That's no good. That might make this not look as good. Oh yeah, food truck business, absolutely. Yeah, good. Yeah, tons of businesses that don't actually need physical locations and stuff like that. Like, yeah, and whoever's doing like full mobile tinting, that's actually a registered business. The first one that comes to mind is Gator. The most professional mobile tinter that you're ever going to see. I guarantee you, he's got a registered business. Let's say you have a bad business transaction with somebody in your mobile, they might come to your house. Sure, maybe. I think more people are more people are paranoid about that than actually it happened. It would have to be something very bad. Look, just you could drive home and God forbid get in a car accident. That's just like regular life risks. So I get minimizing your life risks, but doing it at the expense of like having a business, and that is the business that you want to go into, seems a little bit of a stretch there. We're getting into excuses. How much would you charge if you did mobile? It's not something I'm ever gonna start doing again. Whatever it takes to make it worthwhile, and most people that are just calling initially for a mobile tinter, if they come across you, they are not looking to spend a premium. That is a service that is built up. I'll tell you, I've been doing my own thing since last year. So I've been, as far as the world is concerned, the new kid on the block that nobody's paying attention to. And having to, it's like a lot of people that come in here have no idea I even have a YouTube channel. They're not coming in here because I have a YouTube channel. They don't even know I have it, so I'm just another tinter. So that's been an interesting experience for sure. And most of the time, you're competing with everybody else. People are first concerned with price that call you because they've already called 15 other places. And they're either booked up, the other places are either booked up, or maybe you happen to come across in the right way. I don't know. I think I'm going to drive that out. Just dry it out. I don't know what I want to do with it yet. I should cut it. But we're getting into all sorts of things. Business is easy if you have contracts and everything. This is a really interesting discussion today. If you have everything in writing, then they're easy to dispute. Yes, they are, to an extent. I'll tell you, from personal experiences, talking to shops. So like, they'll often though, in terms of retail business and automotive in Michigan, a lot of the times again, we're whittling this down to my area. A lot of time, they will side with the customer, and they will put whatever issue there is, they'll put that shit on the business. So, I had a full truck that I tinted, and then the guy says he had a couple issues with the job, but he never brought the truck back for anybody to look at. He just started saying a bunch of shit about the job. I said, this was when I was tinting for another shop, by the way. So, shop talks to me, I talk to the shop talks to the customer. That's how that works. So they were telling me that he's got a problem, and I said, yeah, bring it back in. I'll fix whatever issues that he's got. And they said they're trying to, but the guy's just being a pain in the ass. The guy never brought the truck back, never let them look at the issues, never let them try and resolve anything, and just sued them. Took him to court. So you would think that it would almost be a clear-cut case for the shop at that point, where there wouldn't be any further issues like, yeah, you got to bring it back to them, they'll fix it, or whatever. They actually sided with the customer in that situation. The customer didn't even pay for the job. Customer's check bounced. Wait, so he probably sued the customer, oh, that's what happened. He sued the customer sued him back. And then the business did not win. So you get into like all these sorts of situations that are just like, I've had the same thing with Shopify too. Shopify, I've had a couple of people do chargebacks on my Shopify. Sons of bitches. And one of them went as far to say, oh, somebody, I used my sister's card. She didn't recognize the charge. Sorry about that, dude. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I got an email. So when I disputed it, I attached the email, and the customer still won. And I'm like, fuck me. How does that even work? Customers said they got their product. It was an accident. They still got the charge back. Go figure. So, with all the legal stuff, it's a lot of funniness that happens in the world. So, rely on the majority of your business being perfectly fine and normal. Yeah, I lost the money on that one. And I got a chargeback charge too, so it actually cost me more money than just losing the money. It was like $15 or $20 on a chargeback. And there's literally nothing you can do about it other than sign up for their chargeback protection system, which then takes a percentage of all your sales, which adds up to more than any one chargeback. That's how these work. I had somebody come to my house because I painted their staircase. People. Yeah, it only takes one crazy person, and everybody's got their own story, unfortunately. But I wouldn't let that affect my whole business decision. I get people that would, like, look, if it's a difference between I would rather have a shop than not, and I'll do that and do my business out of there, sure, that's great, do that. If it's I'm not going to start my business at all because I'm worried about repercussions from a potential customer, it's like, just fucking whatever. Can you make them sign something that says they can't sue? No. They can sue for anything. Anybody can sue anyone for anything. I could sue anybody and make any wild claims that I want. Will it get thrown out? Maybe. But it's just, that's the stuff. Just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it can't. Yeah, but that's really a bad thinking. I didn't think we'd get into this discussion. You don't want to just because it hasn't happened doesn't mean it can't. Sure, a lot of things could happen. But, like, me, when I spray water, like, look, there's electronics on the door. If I worried about every fucking door shorting, I wouldn't be tinting windows. But it's just a risk of business. Anytime somebody takes apart a door panel, they risk breaking the panel into tiny little pieces, into little dust. It could evaporate. Does it happen? Generally, no. There's services that offer business addresses for $20 a month. Well, there you go. Somebody made a business for the people that don't want to put their business at their house. Bingo, bango. Problem solved. Get your shop going. Let's go. There's solutions to all the problems, and the problems generally are more in people's heads than are what actually out there. I'm not teaching a bunch of little bitches in chat, all right? We need to start making tint businesses. You guys need to make money. You guys need to make a good income for yourselves. I love y'all. Do well. Don't get talked out of doing well for yourself. Have you ever seen an airplane window? No, I haven't. I've kind of wondered about that because I went to aviation mechanics school. So what I know is every modification that gets done to an airplane needs to have a certification for it. So getting certifications for airplanes actually are very expensive and per aircraft model. So like technically window film would have to go through actual FAA certifications. And then whoever paid for all those certifications would then get royalties on everybody that does that. But most airplanes have plexiglass, not actual glass. So there's that too. Yeah, they actually do have plexiglass instead of regular glass. So you'd have to use something different. But man, do they have some bubbly fucking windows. I missed the first part, but the second part said, thanks for all the advice. You are welcome. Nobody has a tint shop unless I drive to Traverse City. Oh, you're up north about 4 hours. Yeah, I could see how nobody's got a tint shop up there. Lots of people go visiting Traverse City, though, in the summertime. Very touristy. I think I've been out that way, like, once. I think. All right, there we go. This is good. This is good. But yeah, it's fun talking about all the legal stuff. I'm not a legal advisor. I don't know all the rules and stuff like that. Wait, what? I asked about your prices. Are they the best in town or like the other shops? I'm going to be pretty similarly competitive with most other places. I feel like my comments were misinterpreted, but it's good. Or, oh, yeah, if I misinterpreted anything, I'm sorry. I hear everything with a Microsoft Sam, very stale voice. So I also am talking a lot of the time, too. So it's like I pick out little things, I talk about it. So, yeah, it depends on how it's worded and when I hear it, so. I want people to do well for themselves. I would never want to see somebody not start a business just because they feel like there's a lot of obstacles in the way with regarding to paperwork and stuff like that. It's just you'll be fine. If you have a problem, like, and an entity finds out, then they'll let you know and tell you to fix it. And then you have a period of time where you fix it. So it's like they'll tell you everything that you need to know when there's a fucking problem. So sometimes you start now and apologize later. It's easier. What was that saying? It's easier to ask for forgiveness than permission. That was that saying. I think that applies very well in business. Just get going. Everybody's got so much else that they're worried about. And then eventually, if you have to do something, then do it. But getting the main ones out of the road is not hard. And another reassuring thing is you can always go back. Whatever you're doing now, you can always go back to it, at least in most cases. So you know you're good here. Taking a little jump forward might be scary, but you usually can fall back on whatever you were doing before. So you always got a little bit of a safety net there. Any window tint you recommend on Amazon? No, nothing on Amazon in particular. In Europe? You have to go with like a main company, like Avery's got international distributing, Solar Guard, Lumar, like all the major companies, they have international distributors. So I'd go with something like that. How are you reading comments? I hear them through the airwaves with my intense headset. Oh, do you know what's sad? I can't use that for the quarter windows. And it's not big enough for a windshield strip. I have to save it and then use it for other quarter windows, but I don't want to do that. Solar Guard? Yeah, Solar Guard's good. Solar Guard, Lumar. Like, okay, so all the major brands that I can tell you offhand that I can think of, you have Lumar, Solar Guard, Suntech, there's more. Does the voice sound robotic? Yeah, it's a step above Microsoft Sam. Oh shit. It's a step above Microsoft Sam, but it's pretty stale. I wish somebody would have told me that the price of GeoShield isn't as expensive, or isn't much more expensive than the Lexan I got. Interesting. Generally they are. But I guess it depends on what you're shopping for. Yeah, there's people are also saying more film brands in chat. I don't know why I can't think of a bunch of them right now, but like, you got all the major ones. There's a decent amount of options. Hooper Optic is another one, yeah. Hooper Optic, I haven't used them personally. I've heard that they have a different way to shrink their film though. Very similar to like what you have to do with crystalline, or else you have ghosting. 3M crystalline is overrated? I think so. I think there's a lot of technology that's put into the film for sure, but how that actually helps you is another thing. I think it's like when you get into a company like that, it's more about embracing their brand and look as your shop. It's not being like Joe's window tint and then having 3M. It's about like being a bigger, better company that embraces the branding of that company. Because a film brand by itself is not going to bring customers to you. Your business is going to bring the customers. Now, that being said, you can take any brand and you can make them into something awesome, because most customers don't know film brands. Do you ship Glass Aid to Canada? Yeah, it's a little expensive, so order a little more if you do. The shipping is like 30? It ranges. Sometimes it's like 25, sometimes it's like 35 to 40. I think it depends on the province, but I ship it with a flat rate, or not flat rate, sorry. Like USPS priority, it's the most economical one. GoPro. What happened? 143? 143? What is going on? We shouldn't be streaming right now. We should be panicking. It's taking a nosedive. GameStop is going out of business. Optimum window film. Oh yeah, that's what's up, Korea Tinner? How you doing? If a customer moves away, they need a warranty, then they look for a certain brand to take care of them for that warranty. Yes, that is an advantage of going with a bigger brand and selling it to your customer that way. Absolutely. Buy the dip! Let's go, boys. Look at it. We should have sold at 350. We're going down. We're going down with the ship today. Whoa, wait, what's the volume today? That's a good indicator of what's worth. 9.19 million traded. I'm suspicious of that. I like that. Buy the dip. Let's go. Don't be a bunch of bitches. Buy the dip. GoPro. Is it? No, it'll be fine. Initial reaction to everything that's going on, a super surge in pricing, media talking dog shit about it, making shit up. There's some hedge funds that have a very expensive reason to try and make it go down. It's kind of insane that the whole problem that like a silly meme stock has actually like really uncovered to more people. That's kind of been the biggest surprise. Like the amount of failure to deliver shares and naked shorting is just kind of insane. Illegal to tint your taillights? Probably in most cases. The GameStop short theory has been around since 2014. Well, now it is in the public's eye and people are paying attention to it. It's never gotten this much media coverage. And media suppression, too, which is crazy. Can you wrap vehicles? Dodge Avenger? No, I don't do car wraps. Just window tinting. I'm just a window tinner. I ain't got time for anything else. I'm a specialist. Like, rather than do 50 automotive things, I specialize in one, and I do it really well. If you want to take on more, you gotta get more people. It's good to, like, sure, know all those things, but fuck, man. Can you use carbon blades? You can use them for top edges, but don't cut on the glass. Reason being is carbon is harder than glass, so it's gonna scratch. Stainless steel is actually a softer metal, so it's not as likely to scratch the glass, but stainless steel can also scratch it. Carbon blades are more available and cheaper, but they're actually better for top edges and stuff. It's, oh, wait, we can't use that. We can't use it. It's garbage. What is that? It's Pro Nano. Should we put some Pro Nano on some quarter windows? I have two choices. I can either be lazy and cut an excessive amount of tint for my quarter windows, or I can be less lazy and I can go dig out my short roll and do that. Have you ever thought about franchising? Thought about it. There's an interesting concept going on with a company called Sunstoppers. So, yeah, I've thought about it, but I don't think I have the ambition. Not unless this really blew up to a point where you get people asking for recommendations out of state. But, dude, it's so... there's so much. Window tinting has always been this, like, weird... It's a very hard thing to turn into a corporate entity with lots of corporate locations. There's more starting to happen now with Expire and like companies like Sunstoppers, stuff like that. Like, it's starting to happen more. But to just sell a franchise to somebody and just like get them up and running and stuff like that, they generally will fail. Taking an existing shop and converting it into another brand, that seems to be the way to go. But I don't know. An existing company that's already established, to bring them in and make them a part of like a bigger company or something like that, there's a lot involved in making that work. But I'm not really interested in just like, unless I knew, okay, so if I knew it would work for somebody, if I knew that you going from what's a weirdo tint name? I don't know. Goofy Tints. If you went from Goofy Tints to being a tint studio, and I knew it would increase your business and just start getting you leads tomorrow, then yeah, I would be really interested in making that into an actual thing. Would it actually work? No, not yet. So it's not on the agenda anytime soon. I like helping people get started. I like everything that I'm doing right now. I like the channel. I like making videos. Well, live streams. I like hanging out. So, I don't have any plans of making it into anything crazy. Do you like cars? Yeah, but I've become like numb to a lot of them. It's just like most cars are just kind of like, oh, that's okay. They're not as interesting. Mostly because most cars don't do anything different from the next car other than drive a little faster. So when they make some substantial like leap in terms of your daily driving life, then it would be better. But for the most part, like, you know, like building a faster computer, making them look cool, it's like that stuff, it's really fun, but it gets old quickly. Whoa, oh God, oh God, what, are we stuck? Oh. I got stuck on the hook. Will you be open this Saturday before Labor Day? Probably. I'm generally not closed for like regular holidays anyways. It's just kind of like, that's what I like about what I do. It's like a stream for me is fun. So if I schedule like a car around that time, it's like I want to keep the streams going. But somebody said you should get into motorcycles. I was looking at them for like a little while, and then a buddy told me something. He told me he was interested in motorcycles too, and he said, he's like, most people are in at least one car accident in their life. And imagine that car accident being on a motorcycle. And I was like, yeah. So I would totally drive a motorcycle if this was less dense. If we had a lot more like wide open roads. And we do, but they're farther out. So I would always have to drive a motorcycle onto roads I would drive. But the roads around here are absolute shit. Potholes everywhere. They're not smooth. And there's lots of traffic. That is not where I want to drive a motorcycle. So, in this area anyways, I will not be getting one anytime soon. Two cars a day at 200 is 400 a day times 5 days a week. Oh, yeah. Yeah, but you have so much more in expenses as a shop, so you have to do more than that. If you're doing it from home, it's great, but if you're like going from somewhere else, you need to do more than that, which is why the stretch to an actual shop is a little bit more. Oh, there it is. This guy. Potholes, rush hours. Yeah, people that live in Michigan, they know. They know the traffic. Oh, these are the hidden buttons. Oh, the last one, I thought I needed a pick. I don't need a pick. They have the little secret buttons that you can still push. God, I was lazy. I do 5 to 6 a day. That's a good way to do it. It's a lot of hustling. A shop can do, oh yeah. Yeah, as a shop, you absolutely should be doing more. And that's the real difference. If you want to tint from home, tint for yourself, you can go at more of a leisurely pace. If you move into a shop, you want to treat it like a shop. You need to be doing extra. You need to be doing more. You need to utilize all the space that you have and run it as an actual business. So you kind of need to go like, this is my plan. This is what I'm going to do. So when I moved into here, some of you might be like, well, it doesn't seem like you're tinting that much out of here. Well, part of my plan was I needed a fucking space so I could do this. That was my goal. So I'm not trying to be a full tint shop. I'm trying to actually go more home leisurely, but also keep my streams going. And unfortunately, I had to get a 3,000 square foot building to do that. I didn't need the 3,000 square feet. It was the closest thing that was available. So I got this one, and I have a full fusion after this. There we go. I got my first customer last week. He referred another guy. That's kind of how it branches out. How do you get more customers? I do Facebook and Google My Business. That is a good question. That is a good question. I don't have a great answer for you because I'm still working on it myself. Being that I've existed now, listed on Google My Business since last year, has helped me for this year. And then little referrals and stuff like that help a lot too. But I tell you, I dealt with so many bad messages on Facebook. There's lots of people that want to waste your time on Facebook. You can definitely get clients there, and I'm not saying it's not worth it, but for the sheer amount of people that we had to entertain, to the number of people that we got, that is not fun when you're starting out. I totally get why people go cheaper on just installation, because you just get beat the fuck up there. They're just like, will you do it for $10? And no, I won't. But then you get like 500 people going like, maybe some other time. It's a little expensive for me, sorry. But it's kind of like a very condensed way of like looking at customers. It's like a lot of budget people shop on Facebook and Facebook Marketplace and Facebook ads and all that. So it's like you can try and adjust your targeting some. Generally, most of the messages are from cheap people. I've gotten way more phone calls and landed way more phone calls from Google Maps, but when it was slow in the wintertime, my phones were slow. Then now that we're in busy season, my phone really kicked up this past week. And then it was very quick to then take deposits on some of these appointments because they were calling other places and getting like no appointments because they were booked out 2 weeks. So the more people call around, the more they realize, oh shit, I don't have options. So I took full advantage of that. Oh, they'll tell you they're calling other shops too. They'll just be like, I'm gonna call around a little bit more or whatever. Or they'll just book an appointment and not show up and keep calling around because they already got one. They might as well keep calling around for a better price and sooner date. Get deposits. So I wish I had some better info for you, but that's just been my experience. It's tough. It's tough when you're starting, but I can tell you, as you stick it out and as your customer base builds up, you have return customers, you get better ranking, you get more reviews, you just start to become a regular business. It takes time. So you need something to keep a buffer while it's slow. If you get a shop, get somebody in a bikini standing by the road, it works. I don't doubt that it might get some attention and work to some extent. I mean, that's really what it is. It's like getting attention and trying to stand out. everybody takes pictures and everybody says nice little things about the cars and everybody looks the same. So the more you can differentiate yourself and stand out, the better. So what the Facebook ads that actually worked the best were me taking the time to talk a little bit about the difference between carbon, cheap carbon and expensive carbon. I got more carbon requests than anything because I actually talked about it. But keep at it. And yep, it's slow in the beginning. Just ask Patrick. He'll tell you too. We both went through it at the exact same time. I gotta see how he's doing. It's a tough grind. It will not just all of a sudden pick up for you, or like it will not all of a sudden just like you hit the ground running and you're busier than ever. Most of the time, if that happens to somebody, they just have a really good referral friend network, and then it just kind of grows from there. Other than that, it's just lots of cold leads. It's tough. Where do you get your film? From Geo. You should make a TikTok about window tinting? Nah. No, so this gets a little bit more on the technical side of things. I'm really into platforms, analytics, and all that fun stuff. So right now, TikTok, it's got a lot of people watching, but it's very short video. So it's got the same problem that Instagram has. It's short impressions, and you have to make a lot of them. So what you do is generally very low impact. So the effort that I have to put into making any type of TikTok content is going to be far more than it would make sense to do. I mean, it would just do it for entertainment, and that just fucking... Dude, I'm trying to keep streams going on the channel right now. So unless somebody wants to clip part of my channel, maybe when a balloon blows up, I don't know. It all depends on what you're trying to do. You could have a bunch of followers and just very little return. TikTok seems like a bunch of kids from what I've seen. It's a bunch of everybody. It's mostly younger demographics though. You're right about that. A lot of people are on it. So it's not just a kid platform, but it's quick-witted humor. That's most of it. And most of it is like, it's not localized in any way. And it'll work okay for a business over a long period of time, and it'll probably get better as it matures, but for now, it's just, if you're looking to get started on any platform and just go, I think YouTube is still a great place. Facebook is still decent, but it's, I think every local business should be on Facebook for sure. You really should be on all of them as much as you can, but if you're gonna go hard on any of them, Facebook and YouTube are gonna probably pay out the most for you. Facebook, because you can pay to boost it. YouTube, you can also pay to boost your content locally too. I forget about that. You can run ads in front of stuff. And Google is the king of advertising, so it helps you rank and all that. Where do you get your tinting tools from? A few places. So all my Glass 8 stuff is on my tint stuff. Oh, it didn't work. My tint stuff. Oh, I'm not even clicked on it. My tint stuff. There it goes. And then the more tools can be found at Tint Depot. And that link, the Tint Depot link, is a list of all the recommended stuff that I use. So that's like where you can get Tri-Edge and Fusion and stuff like that. I don't have tri-edge infusion. I might have tri-edge sooner or later, though. Tint Depot. There we go. Now it popped up. Canon. Oh, shit. It's 11:30? I got a windshield to do. We got to get going. All right. GoPro. Let's bust out a windshield. 35. That's this one. This guy right here. Was it 9:30 when we got started? Storefronts? No. Architectural is a good business. It's just not one that I've gotten into. Ah! Uh-oh. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you? What kind of van? Pacifica? It would be $280 for all the sides, and $130 if you're interested in the full windshield. It would be $280 for all the sides. I could do it 5, yep. Yeah, that's mix and match films any which way you want to go, so I have as dark as 5%. I'm all booked up till mid next week, actually, so I could get you in by Wednesday next week with a deposit. Yeah, no problem. Good luck. Bye. Oh my God. I could tell you, as soon as I picked up the phone, this wasn't gonna work out. So right now, this is like a really interesting time, and I really like this position right now. You have a lot of people that are calling around for appointments right now, or calling around to get in today. And what they're finding out is that it's really hard to get in today or tomorrow. They don't want to wait more than 3 days. But there are still people that are calling around for appointments that are willing to leave deposits a week from now. And those, to me, are like, those are the types of appointments that I'm looking for, because they're generally just, it's like they're not in a super rush. They've maybe shopped around a little bit, or like looked at different films and companies and stuff like that. Like they've done more than just make a phone call. So I've got quite a few of those appointments right now, which is nice. Oh, so this is pull shrinking some. So the way I shrink is a little bit of a hybrid. This part is pull shrinking. So when I said for hatches, leave them a little bit longer and like tug on the edges, what you're gonna do is lift it off the glass and get that little heat wave going down and just try and smoothly shrink the film. You can't really see it shrink a ton as you're doing it, but as soon as you let it go, that's when you can really see it. So like this. Get that little heat wave going. Wait for it to start pulling sideways, and then just kind of work that shit up. And then sometimes it looks like not much is happening. but it absolutely is. This isn't exactly the hardest windshield to shrink, though, so your experience will vary. This is the car that you want to get every day, all day. Malibus are awesome. Easy seals, easy doors, easy peasy. Easy peasy. What's the hardest window you've ever tinted? Same as most people. You're gonna run into like old cars, but the ones that stand out is like VW Beetle, Corvette. Those ones are just the general staples of being a overall pain. Not super fun to do. I think the oldest one that I was actually pretty happy about was like an 80s style Vet. It was like 70s or 80s style Vet. It doesn't open. It's just that round, shitty Vet cockpit style glass. And I did it really, really well. I was very happy about that one. But there's other reasons why certain windows really suck. So like you can get like an older, I think older Impala with like a bunch of deck lid in the way and stuff like that, and it's really curved. If I get 20%, will people usually get stopped by cops? That totally is dependent on where you live and who you drive by. I can't tell you one way or another. In Michigan, it's always a possibility. I've seen people get tickets for as light as 35, but generally they're doing something else to get pulled over. Now I think it's just become more and more common to see. So the more common it is, the less they'll hassle people for it. But when you get pulled over, they can always give you a ticket for it. Is the Tint Dude website yours or somebody else's? No, that's somebody else's. Tint Dude, that's been around for a long ass time. It's not very used anymore though. Facebook kind of replaced it. I wish YouTube gave channels discussion boards like that. Their numbers have there's just not much interaction there. Old school forums kind of fell by the wayside because they're just not very mobile friendly. That's where most people are. So Facebook added groups, and groups are, I think, Facebook's most active thing. Uh-oh. I think we got somebody in. Cannon. All right, boys. 1 second. Hello. How you doing? Hi. You guys using? Yeah. Awesome. Does he pick shades by chance, or what type of color? He wants 5% normal all over. Okay. It's gonna be really good. boys. I have my other car, and it's actually dropped off. So, I don't know. I think I'm just going to tint it, though. But we got to do the windshield on this, so we're not in as much of a rush. So if I take a little more time now, I have to speed up a little later. 144. But we do have... Oh, I got to put this back on. Can't have you guys talking in my ears while I'm talking to people. But yeah, that was easy. Other cars dropped off. So we're going to be doing this windshield. We're already a good ways through it. So let's finish installing this one, and then I think we'll be good for today, and I can actually just chill and tint a car. Where's my knife? Put my knife somewhere. Clear crush or yellow flat out? I would definitely get both. I would 100% get both. But, so the only reason I'm really using the clear crush right now, it was like residual from the wintertime. So I think with it being so cold and there's a lot of salt on the road because of the winter, I was getting the occasional like fine line scratch when I was really like whipping through cars at the glass shop, and it was driving me absolutely crazy. So then I was using the orange crush, and what I found with the orange crush is it was really good in the beginning and then started leaving like rubbery streaks behind on the film. So that was no good. And then I had the clear crush. I have a couple of them laying around, and I just gave it a fair shake, and it's good. I like it. It's definitely soft, but you can put more pressure on it, and I don't seem to be leaving scratches behind at all. So right now I'm just kind of using that. Before it was torn down, did you ever go to 8 Mile and see Eminem's house? I never even knew it was torn down. No, I haven't. That's interesting. I would think that'd be a historical landmark. GoPro. Yellow flat out doesn't clean glass too good? I think it did pretty well. Eventually you'll get like some... So, like, the problem with most blades, like the Blue Max, so I got them all here. The Blue Max, this will nick very quickly. Good blade, nicks quickly. The flat out lasts a lot longer in terms of nicks, but eventually you'll get them. So you start leaving those, like, little lines behind and stuff, and it'll eventually get worse. But I really like the flat out. I still do. Again, I just switched to the clear crush, and I'm giving it a fair shake just to see what it's like. And I'm really surprised. I wish more blades were as slick as the clear crush. Because it's very slippery, but that also might just be that they added more of one material in it that they can't necessarily add to another one. They added more silicone slippage. The Eminem house was torn down. Is this recent? I'm assuming this was a while ago then. Be a weird thing to just all of a sudden yank down now. Surprised he didn't just buy it and move it. Because he could afford to do that. Just pick up the whole house and move it. It's the most famous person you've ever met? Oh, that's a pretty small list. We don't get very many celebrities around here. We just hear about ones that succeeded and they don't come back. I tinted a car for, I think one of the coolest things was, I tinted a car for, like, we've done, like, sports people, so, like, some Red Wings and some Lions. But they were, like, pretty low-key ones. It wasn't anybody that I really knew. But the little guy from Pirates of the Caribbean, I forget what his name is, but he was really cool. He hung out the entire time in the car. He had an old car, but it was super clean, and so it was kind of like a long project. But he just hung out in the car and played 80s movies the whole time, and he was just talking about how much he loved 80s movies. I asked him what his favorite project was, and he said Pirates of the Caribbean. Pretty expected. That's my celebrity story. There isn't much there. We just don't have as many people out here because it's Michigan. It's not exactly the most exciting place. What? Have you ever had anybody ask for your autograph? No, no, I've only been recognized. I was recognized at a few different auto shops that I went around to for mobile work. And they're like, hey, you tint windows. I was like, yeah, I'm here to tint windows. They're like, oh, wow, that's cool. And that was pretty much it. 8 Mile is a dumpster? It depends on where you are on 8 Mile. But yeah, like 8 Mile is a very long road. It stretches all the way into the suburbs and past. So in the Detroit area, yeah. But that's exactly how, like, where he got to start for sure, so. And how he became who he is, his whole upbringing. But he's such a significant artist that I guess I'm still a little surprised that, it's just like, hey, he's from here. It's 8 miles long. No. Get what you did there. 8 Mile is it's a sequence of roads. So you have actually all the way down to 5 Mile and up past 20-something mile. So like the glass shop that I tint for is off at 23 Mile. They just go 5 Mile, 6 Mile, 7 Mile, 8 Mile, 9 Mile, 10 Mile, 11 Mile, 12 Mile. It's just a big grid system. A grid system that does some of this too. And they just pretty much built it out until it hits a place that it makes no more sense to do any infrastructure. I grew up on 9 Mile, actually. I think I said that in the last stream. I'm from 9 Mile. Just one road shy of 8 Mile. One opportunity shy of being a rapper. Dang, you got it. How old are you? 30, 32? I'm 32. Well done. Been tinting since. I'm trying to remember. It was like I was working at an auto shop, and then started tinting there later on. So it was like high school. It was high school through 2000, like it was 2008, 2009, I think, is when I started. So it's like, I'm pretty sure it's 12 years, could be going on 13 though. I don't remember exactly. I gotta figure that out. But I was going to aviation mechanics school was 2009. I remember because I graduated in 2007 and then skipped a year before going to aviation mechanics school. And then that was 2009. Wait, you didn't work at your... No, my dad's shop was the auto shop I was talking about. That's how I got my start. He's not a tinter, though. How do you prevent fingers? We have everything good, but we get lots of fingers. You need to shrink it. You need to shrink it. So I've seen lately, I'm gonna be nice, but I don't think some of you guys understand why you're shrinking. So you're shrinking because the glass is curved and the film is flat. So this, for example, you see this right here? This is something we need to touch up. That's a finger. You need everything to lay evenly across the glass. So how do you make that happen? Well, you shrink it. Well, what should the shrinking look like? Well, it should look like this. It should look flat, like the glass does. So if you shrink it, and it still looks all wrinkly and weird and shit, then you didn't shrink it. You just kind of put some heat on it. So you gotta actually shrink it until it forms to the glass. And then you'll be good. If you have something pop up, something small, that's not a big deal. You can touch those up. But if you're getting like significant things popping up, you didn't do what you're supposed to do. Okay, that's what we were doing. Thanks. You're welcome. I'm looking for my squeegee. What the fuck? Where did I put it? I entertained a customer, and I lost my squeegee. I've heard you say your dad's more a businessman, just an owner shop. Yeah, he's definitely more of a business dude. He got started in an interesting way, though. He saw opportunity, so he worked at an existing shop called Auto One, and then he just saw how piss poor that they were running it. So he basically eventually took it over because they were going out of business because of how shittily they were run. And then some way or another, he was able to like turn it into his own business. I think he took it over as Auto One and he eventually separated. I don't know exactly how that worked. I should gotta ask him again. Man. No. Squeegee's not on hand. We lost a squeegee. How? How did we lose a squeegee? That's really not good. It's got to be in a pretty obvious spot, though. I'll put it down somewhere. I was in the middle of this, and then could be in the back dash. Ah, you're right. Aha! Whoever said that, you get a cookie. Thank you. Back dash. Good job. Aha! Thank you. Now we can continue. Now you have a little glimpse into how my mind works. I just is fucking all over the place and trying to do this, trying to do that. There we go. But yeah, so he just saw the general inefficiencies of it, and then somehow or another, he eventually got it. And then he kept the same model moving forward and opened as much as 12 stores. But eventually, that's fun. Eventually, the business did not last. He has one shop out of an area called Dearborn Heights. that was kind of built in the middle of the last two that were still open, and changed the model a little bit, but actually a lot of it. Window tinting was like the main thing that was working, because the business was built on auto accessories. And at the time, you had the internet becoming more of a thing. So online shopping was becoming more. People were starting to find and purchase the products themselves, because a lot of things used to run through distributors, and you had to have an account to buy from a distributor. So some of this stuff just wasn't available to people. Then the internet made it more widely available. So then price really started becoming more of a thing. Like, a lot more price competition. Oh, shit. The other one's got to be back there too, right? So price competition definitely became more of a thing. And then the housing market crashed. So that was kind of like the last straw. You know, income already was not going great, and then the whole housing crisis happened. So from that, he made Auto Tint City, and I helped basically run that run the whole tinting portion of that thing until I was just absolutely spent. It's not what I wanted to do. I could tint, and he needed help, and he helped me learn how to tint. So that's kind of how all that shit went. And then I tinted there for a long time until eventually I got an offer to go mobile, make more money that way, and I was just like ready to leave. Ceramic or carbon? Ceramic always. Carbon's a great option, but that's if you don't have the budget for ceramic. It's kind of like supercar versus mid-tier luxury car. I don't know. Like, what do you like? Do you want the best of the best, or you want like the medium? It's just, it comes down to budget. What was that? Your brother works at your dad's shop, doesn't he? Yes, he does. Yeah, my dad's shop now is actually doing really well, which is great. I'm very happy. It's not how I want to tint, but it's how he built it, and it's showing now, and that's good. Took a long ass time to get there, but goddamn, he grinded it out. So that's good. The difference is like look, if you're making a tint business, your goal really is, like any business, you gotta try and make as much as you can, because it's a business. And the quickest way to do that with window tinting is just pile on the cars. So it's just car after car after car after car after car. And if you don't have a team of people to help with that, then it's all put on like one person. So he's got a small team now, but that took a long time. I bet that's where that plotter is. No, no, it's not. It's at a local competitor. So get this shit. All right, so my plotter, I bought it, and and in here's what he said at the time, 6,000 square foot building. Sorry, we don't have space for it. Like, oh. So you can kind of see why I didn't necessarily want to always be there. He didn't have room for a plotter. Okay. I was doing like side work too at the time. Not cars and stuff, but I had online projects going on, so. Alrighty, let's go put this in. So the plotter would be there, or actually I probably would have picked it up right now. But it was just at the time I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me? I can't even." Doing videos, anything, it's like when you're doing this at a shop, it's just a side project, and they're there to make money and get work in and keep doing that. So it's like I had some opportunity to do video, but at the end of the day, they're just trying to get cars done. So you have to try and fit a video into a full work day. There's phones that are ringing, there's people walking in and out of the room, there's all kinds of shit happening, and when you slow down, like I don't even take lunch breaks, because as soon as you slow down, it's like punishment. You don't have time for a lunch break, you don't have time to recoup, you don't have time to take a break, because they'll tell you can, and then they'll just keep throwing cars up on the board, and you're just like, I took a lunch break. Did you factor in the half hour I took for a lunch? Like, you'll be fine. Okay, thanks, guy. And every car is the same. Oh God, you guys are giving me flashbacks now. Every car's the same to them. So it's like you could have like a 90s piece of shit paired up with a 2019 Malibu. And yeah, you could get the Malibu done real quick. But guess what? That other car's going to take you longer. And they treat every car the same. So when they put 3 pieces of shit back there for you to do, especially around this time of year, you're like, oh, fuck you. And do the rest of the work? The fuck do you think this is? And they're just like, I don't know. I just gotta do more sales. That's my job. I get sales. What is that? Do we have a thing there? Or is that water on the outside? What is that? I can't tell. I want to say that's water on the outside, but I don't know. I gotta go check that out. Is it a ghost? Is it a little piece of fuzz? It's in an interesting spot. Patrick won't touch it if it's over 10 years old. Yeah, he will. He will. Just a little something right there. Not all old cars are bad. It's just saying, like, there's, like, okay, so if you get, like, a new Taurus, if you get, like, a brand new, okay, they don't really make the Taurus, but, like, if you get, like, a brand new Malibu, and then you get, like, a 10-year-old Fusion, like, it's no problem. Like, those are fine. If you get like a 20-year-old, it's like, it just depends on what it is. So there's some cars that are perfectly fine, but it's just when you get that old, generally most people don't take care of their cars either. So you're just kind of like, they're budget shopping. They got some extra stimulus money, just want to get their shit tinted. So when they come in with like an old wagon, you're just kind of like, ugh. Because you also got to look at it from a business perspective too. Like, how many cars could you get done in the same amount of time with less frustration? So weigh your options, but he does them. You can try and price them out, though. It's the nice way to do it. If I get calls about, I've gotten a few calls about some classic cars. And I was like, well, I say classic. They're like old-ass wagons and stuff. And I was like, look, I don't have time for it, or it's not my specialty. I'll say one of the two. I mean, same thing with like removals right now too. This was this thing, I forget about some of these things. This was the thing I was trying to implement at my dad's place. So they would do this thing where they would fill up a schedule, and then you would have people coming in with warranty work, and they would pile it in on Saturday. And it's like, bro, we had the whole schedule open at the beginning of the week, and now you're trying to pile all this not money-making shit on at the end of the week? Are you kidding? And they would just be like, well, I don't know. He just wanted to bring it in, so I just told him to bring it in. It's like, yeah, but this is money day. Saturday is money day. That's when everybody had off and could come in and get their shit tinted, and then we were sitting on our ass on Tuesday. So if you have, it's like you can try and work with your schedule a little bit where it makes more sense. It's just like when the money is there, get the money. When warranties have to get done, yeah, sure, you want to take care of them. I'm not saying don't take care of them. But first, try and work them into a time slot that's just more available to the schedule, because the amount of time it's going to take me now to remove and retint is going to be longer than just tinting it. And they're going to be more critical about the work, too. God, they drove me crazy. Flashbacks, I told you guys. Flashbacks. I repressed all this stuff. I don't want to bring it back. Do I really use a heat gun for the tint? No. No, I just stick it. You hit that little YouTube rewind button, go back about a half an hour, and you'll see me not use a heat gun on this window. Yes, I use a heat gun. I got, like, it's just funny because I have, like, every stream, they're very similar. And I use a heat gun on every stream, on every window. Every heat gun, every window, all the time. This is what happens if you don't use a heat gun, except way worse. So we're going to fix that real quick, and then we'll be done. Yes. Brief explanation. See, the problem is also, like, finding the right resources and explaining them in a way that makes sense to people. And the thing that I didn't understand is, like, you just tell people to shrink, but people don't really understand why you need to shrink, what is shrinking. Well, we went over a little bit earlier. I don't know if I'm going to make this into a video, but regardless, see this guy right here? See this guy? That is caused when you don't shrink everything as smoothly as you should, or you just didn't press it out evenly. So that is a finger. That is because the glass is not flat. The film is flat, the glass is curved. Shrinking it helps form it to the glass. So if you don't shrink it, you're gonna have a whole bunch of them pop up. So the way that you can fix the little guys, put some heat on the inside a little bit, put some heat on the outside, try and dry that sucker out because it's got water constantly feeding into it, and you just need to dry it out. So all those little dots, they hold little bits of water, and as soon as you press it down, it sucks it, like little moisture hits that edge, and then it feeds right back into the film. So you can actually cause more problems for yourself by not shrinking the film. That goes for door windows, especially. So when somebody tells you they don't shrink door windows, well, they're probably removing the full panels to not shrink a door window, and you have to squeegee everything out super evenly to make that happen. So the safer thing is to usually just shrink everything a little bit, because every window is going to be a little bit curved. Because once you have those things popping up on the inside, you're going to be fighting them for way too long. You're going to be fighting it. You don't want to fight it. You just want to shrink it and lay it down evenly. So that's how you take care of that little problem. All the prior prep work and stuff helps ensure that nothing gets sucked back into it, but the more you do that, the more risk that you have of stuff popping back in. But it's a pretty easy spot. The tougher spots to get to lay down is going to be anything along the bottom or in these lower corners. All the water is settling down that way, and it's tougher to get to. And all the moisture, condensation evaporates and starts settling in that area too. So until it's fully dried, it can be a bit of a pain. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So we're coming to the end. Hope this has been a fun experience. We have it all tinted. We're just going through little bits of touch up. How many volts is the heat gun have? Enough. It's 120 amps at, like, I don't know. No, it's not 100. It's 120 volts. It's 120. It's a 120 system here, so it's 120, then whatever amps. Makes it about 1,000 to 1,500 watts. So heat guns, you just need a heat gun that says heat gun. You don't need any specific heat gun. There's certain heat guns that are going to work a little bit harder, a little bit hotter, but they'll only go up to what they can pull out of the wall. So in the US, that's going to be 120. Some overseas, you'll have 220. But, like, look, this heat gun, this is a $20 heat gun. You can find it at local hardware stores. It's easy to come across. It's literally just the best of the cheapest. Why do I use this one? Because the $60 ones that offer features are dog shit. All the features are pointless. Do they last longer? No. You have to go much higher than that for a heat gun to make sense. So look at it this way. You got every heat gun up to $60 to $80. They're all basically the same in terms of heat output they'll just have some extra features that you don't need. And most of the expensive ones, or more the $80 ones, they break just as quick as the $20 ones, if not quicker. Go figure. That goes for the Milwaukee. It goes for all the higher Wagner ones, the Cobalt ones. Fucking whatever. Porter cables were good, but now Craftsman has adopted it, and I hear pretty good things. Also, there's another one at Harbor Freight I have to try out that's cheaper. So I will be eventually getting over there. And yeah, keep a spare, like somebody said in chat. Yes, I do have a backup one. Always just buy two. And then when you break one, you won't go buy another one until you break both, and then you'll really be in a pinch. Because that's how tinters work. We don't order film until we're out of it. Or until it's Thursday, and we're running to the last little bit, and we're like, oh shit, I didn't order film. I gotta order film. I know all this, because that's me. It's what I did. It's Thursday, and I could have ordered it on Monday and had it here for the weekend, but instead it was too lazy to order. So I'm going to wait until Thursday, mid-afternoon, and try and get something by the weekend. Because it's not a problem until it's a problem. Break out the torch, or use a torch, and then you run out of gas. And then you're like, damn it, I got to go get gas. Dang it. I hate that. Don't close both. Just close them together, because one will make the other one lock. And then you have to do that. Bad. Come on. No, just a little bit more. There we go. Got it. Done. Woo! Ooh, look at that. That's what we call a pretty tint job. Now I got another card to tint. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to focus on answering a couple leads and tinting another car. Thank you for coming to bed. Have you come across headrests that don't remove? Yeah, for sure. Occasionally you do. Some Mercedes, some BMWs, like some of them, the seats don't fold down and the headrests go straight up into the roof, and you can't take them out. In those cases, you just gotta it's not fun. It's not fun. Great job. Thank you. Convertible headrests and big luxurious sedans don't remove? Yeah, generally. It depends on the one, but as long as if the seats fold down, usually they're fine, but there's some of them that are attached. It's funny because I got this Impala video where I talk about my most popular back window video. I get comments saying like, why didn't you remove the headrest? You idiot, remove the headrest. It's because the fucking headrests are sewn into the back seats, you dumb shit. That's why. They remove out of some Impalas, not that one in the video. $750 BMWs suck. Yeah, those are big ones. Alrighty, so we got to shout out at least a couple of super chats. Oh, we got two. But we got a big one from Lewis. Jesus Christ. Alrighty. So, big shout out to Efren for the 5 and Lewis for the 60. Thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. That was a really nice message earlier. Do you double cut? Did you watch the stream? You didn't watch the stream, did you? You're new. You're new. Yes, I double cut. Alrighty. Well, if you guys have fun, you guys can also, which I'm sure most of you are, you can head on over to the Facebook group too. Ooh, I got a phone call. 1 second. Hello, Tint Studio. How can I help you? Okay. Yeah. What did you want to do everything without the windshield or with the windshield? Oh, I gotcha. I'm a little booked up at the moment. Like my earliest available would be like sometime later next week. It'd be 100 for the front too. Yep, no problem. Do you know what's fun about that? I'm mostly set up, like, I want to come in for full cars. So I do front doors, but right now I'm booked up with full cars. So the front doors get pushed way off, and then generally we just come in for streams and full cars now. Because they don't want to wait. But if they do, then we'll get them in. Okay, I gotta catch up on some stuff. Yep. I got a bunch of notifications. Alrighty, I'm gonna do some other stuff right now. So thank you guys for hanging out. Like I said, head on over to the Facebook group. If you enjoyed the stream, we have another stream this Saturday. It's either gonna be at 9 a.m. or 12. I'm guessing I'm gonna do the 12 o'clock on stream. Pretty sure I'm gonna do the 12 o'clock. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna be 12 o'clock because today is Wednesday. So I will see you guys on Saturday. Y'all have a good rest of your week. Make some money. Let me know how it goes on Saturday, and I will see you then. Goodbye. Goodbye.